Okay, beautiful people, beautiful souls that may be catching us up on this new channel. The lovely me and Tatiana have come together to create some podcasts that we want to talk about subjects that will hopefully open your hearts and minds, share our experiences of our spiritual journey, and at some points maybe bring some healing through or activations as we're actually doing the work or talking. So we've called ourselves the Divine Team for these beautiful podcasts that we're going to continue to do. So I just wanted to introduce myself before Tatiana introduces
Oh,
herself.
I'm so excited.
So I'm Lisa Parkinson, and I have been channeling for some years, starting my journey in 2008. I am what I call a pure channel of light. I'm also a healer and a reader, but channeling is my passion, and connecting with the higher energies, bringing through messages, bringing through divine guidance, bringing through love and healing and activations and expansion for people or groups of people that come to me. I just love this work that we're doing. So look forward to hopefully getting some of you to maybe start to follow us and interact with us as we move through this new journey of these new
Yeah,
podcasts and this new coming together and what we're going to create for the future. So
exactly.
over to you, Tatiana.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm so excited. And when we came up with this podcast, I was fired. So we planned this for like a few weeks now, but we're finally here. I'm Tatiana Moon, and yeah, we are the Divine Team that just came to us. And I'm a medium. We both are on Instagram. Everything is linked in the captions. So you can find us if you want to work with us, if you want to know more who we are. We're going to talk about obviously more about us. You get to know us. Originally, as you can hear, I'm from Germany. I'm living in up north in Halifax, and yeah, I'm a medium. I help female entrepreneurs to manifest, to make more money in business, and that's me in a nutshell. But as I said before, you're going to get to know us, and today's topic, shall reveal it. It's we're talking about our spirit guides, our team we're working with, and Lisa. Do you have
Thank you,
anything
Tatiana.
to say here? Because I think we have a lot to say. We have a lot to say.
Well, this subject just came down sort of as we know things just drop into place, and it just dropped in as me and Tatiana were talking that talking about guides, because we all talk about having these teams of light and these teams of guides, and we have different ways of perceiving them. So we just wanted to share our own experiences, just so that you yourselves may get some understanding of your
Yeah.
own teams, or it might even help you to start perceiving your guides. Because what happens as we're connecting and talking, our energy is expanding in this very moment. And as you're in this space with us and watching, it will expand your own energy. So, whereas
Mhm.
maybe you may not really feel your guides, or you might be saying, well, I know I've got guides, but I'm not really picking up on them, or I'm not sure who they are. I'm not saying that by listening to this, you're going to instantly know your guides, but I feel it will activate. Well, I'm not feeling, I'm being told it will activate something in you. And I feel that the activation's taking place within your heart,
Yeah.
because the more heart open you become, the more expansive your light becomes, and the clearer your information and guidance
Mhm.
becomes. So this is why we love doing this, because as we actually start a conversation, we've not wrote down what we know we're gonna talk about the subject, which is guides, but we've not wrote down a list of what we're gonna say. We're just doing this as we're guided to do so. So do
Exactly.
you want to add anything to that,
Yes.
Tatiana?
Because we're so intuitive, and like you said before, maybe you already know your spirit guides, because for me personally it always changes because we're expanding, we're evolving, we're going with the collective. And I thought me and Lisa, we thought that it's important to talk about this because I'm going through like a change in my team, and I in the beginning I always feel like, oh, they're gone, I'm on my own. Obviously that's never the case, but this is one topic I would love to talk about, because as the team changes and as you get to know the new team, it's like, hey, I have a new team. It's completely different to what was before. And I think we talked about it, Lisa, this week about that I was like, oh my God, I feel a bit lost. I feel a bit like new people coming in, and you actually saw this huge um guardian angel of mine. And I know this one is always with me. It's like a huge figurine, and it's so high up in the clouds that you sometimes I can't see the face, but I know it was always there. And he's the only one, and my grandma in my team who are always there, and I know they are there to support me and guide me. And a lot of things just started to happen, and I get to know my team like on a deeper level, because obviously it's a get to know them again because it changed it up. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm probably going to dip into this kind of topic a bit more, because for me in the beginning it's always like, oh my God, I'm on my own now, because I'm a born medium. Lisa, you were born with this, but I think a bit later in life we decided to work
Yeah.
spiritually, healer, Reiki, and all of these lovely things you starting with. Yeah, it's always different. It was for me, and maybe that's for people who are listening right now as well. And this is so normal. This is so normal. That's why we're doing it, because
Yes.
I know the collective consciousness, how women heal the world. I feel that women, where it's our turn to heal the world, and I think a spirit guides. That's why they're shifting, and that's why I get right now in this moment. Do you
And of
feel anything, Lisa?
well, what I just wanted to say was how kind of like Tatiana said, the main guide that was with her and what we picked up and what she already knew was the main guide is Jesus.
Yeah.
So excuse me, for me, when I first started out, the energy that I got with me, and I think this was I started out 2008, and I remember walking in Manchester, and there was a Buddhist monk walking in Manchester, handing out these little. I'll show you this.
Oh, exciting. I love that already.
And he gave me this, and I gave him some money, a donation for it, and read the words Lady Kuan Yin. And just thought, oh, how beautiful it was,
Yeah.
and went home with this. But Lady Kuan Yin comes in. She's been coming in ever since, obviously, probably before then, because the energy that's with me, or the energy that works through me, is the mother energy.
Mm.
And also, as I've grown, the grandmother energy now comes. So I would say that my energy is more aligned with the mother energy. So it's quite a very mothering. I feel I have a very expansive heart, which most of us do.
Yeah.
But mine is an expansive heart, that energy that holds groups of people so that you feel safe. So Lady Kuan Yin tends to be the one that comes forward first.
I can feel that.
Yeah, so this
Hmm.
mothering energy, so that people that come, so as a healer, you want people to feel safe. So her energy is like helping you to be mothered and be held so that you feel supported, so that you can be vulnerable in that space.
Hmm.
So it makes sense that I have this soft kind of energy. And don't get me wrong, that energy can also, as a mother, become quite forceful. And in some healings and readings that I get, I have to almost like my voice flicks into a forceful, as though you're being told off, because the mothering energy wants you to know that you need to change or you need to do this. So we've got these different aspects of our guide's energy. I also had, which was funny, and this might sound very strange, when I first did my angelic Reiki 1 and 2,
Hmm.
when I was first learning it with this beautiful teacher that I was under at the time, and it was on the very first day in this workshop, and I was sat with three other ladies that I didn't know, so we were sat with the teacher at the front, and as she was talking, I suddenly got Darth Vader stood
No.
on my left. So obviously Darth Vader's in black. So in those days, as soon as he stood, I'm thinking, what the heck is going on here? I'm thinking black, oh, it's something bad. What the heck does this mean? But it's strength. And I just turned around and I just said, can I just say a minute? This Darth Vader stood at me because I didn't know whether it's for me. And it was
Someone
the first
else.
time I'd experienced this. But this energy was almost like the force, isn't it? The force be with you. So it was like this strength and energy was already being shown. And what I picked up with that as well is galactics.
Right.
So I have the mother energy, but I also have the galactic energies coming in. And there are times when I'm more connected to the galactic energies, but the mother
Mhm.
energy will always be in the background.
Yeah.
And there are times when I'm connected to angelic energies or elementals or dragons. But for me, I'm not one that is full on elementals. And
Mhm.
yet I do have friends that will be, their guides will be fairies and such. So, so then for some time, that energy was with me. And then it's only today that I've really remembered that energy was there.
It's
And this is kind of an experience I wanted to, because if you maybe you see an image or feel that, or maybe sometimes I get a name, I don't get an image, I get a name.
Mhm.
And I have another energy. So this is just an example. So I have Lord, excuse me, Lord Melchizedek, who to me is like a teacher. And Lord Melchizedek is known to many people and he will work with many people. These are not just my guides and nobody
Yeah.
else's. These are because we're of a group consciousness, they will come in. So Lord Melchizedek will work with me, but many other light workers because he's got
Mhm.
such a lot to bring and we have a lot to learn from him. So he will come in, but then there are three aspects of him for me. So he can be
Mhm.
Lord Melchizedek, he can be Merlin, and he can be Gandalf.
I
But
love that.
it's the same energy, but three aspects of this same energy, depending which I need to work with or
Yeah.
which comes in, depending the work I'm doing with people that come. So it's just an amazingly expansive subject to talk about. So
I
sorry,
love
Diana,
this. No,
to
that's
share.
what we're here for. And I think this is so interesting because for me, when I obviously, Leonie, your daughter is my best friend, so that's why we know each other, and we just tend to be up north, both of us. So that's we connected. And what I wanted to say with this, when I first met you, I could feel this motherly energy, and obviously you might go to psychic medium when I need anything because this is so expansive and I think our energies are so like I think we have two or three people energies in our team who are the same. So Freya, I think.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
Freya.
Um obviously Jesus came up for me. I'm not religious and for me in the beginning I was like, well, Jesus is in my team. Obviously I'm a healer as well, so it makes sense.
And
It makes
Jesus
sense.
does come in, and Jesus is another. I get Jesus, Yeshua,
Mm.
and Lord Krishna. So I'm very connected to Lord Krishna. So, and as I'm saying that, it's kind of he's stood above my head now.
Mhm.
It's like he's above here, and he drops in many times when I meditate.
Yeah.
So again, similar kind of energy. Krishna, Jesus, Yeshua. You get this. What do they call it? Sorry, because sometimes the words go, and then I just have to let them drop into
It's normal.
place. It will come back in a
Yeah,
moment.
it will come back. No, there's no pressure. We're just recording now. Um, for me, it was like when I first got into like I think I got into get to know my team. And if your words are back, just jump in. 2015 or 16, I started to do this again. So it's like almost 10 years. Is 10 years this year. Um, and I started meditating and some people, if you really want to get to know your team, that's how I did it. So I had this Buddhist kind of Chinese energy coming in while I was meditating. And when you said that you were in Manchester and he handed this over to you, I remember right now in this moment that this energy, while I was in the meditation, he came up and gave me something like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm in your team." And I can just feel it right now. It's like, yeah, that's because he wasn't in it for like 3, 4 years, but his energy is coming in when you said this. And I think activations can just happen when you listen to people and you remember things that you were like, oh, hold on. I have someone in my team as well. And this is something maybe that you can try as well when you're listening. Maybe something will pop up. And I think just talking about our experience and just giving this insight, I think this is so valuable.
It is because it's something, obviously, we were told that you have, and I'm always here, you have a team, you have a team. And at first, like I say, names stood out, and I didn't at first take it on board that these were my guides. A lot of the times that
Mm,
these energies would appear would be when I was preparing to do work on people, healing sessions,
yeah.
and such. And that's when I would get a name in. So I never took it that it was my guide. I think for the first part of my journey for several years, I was in awe of
Mm,
having these energies come in. So much so that I didn't even ask them any questions because it was like I was just like, oh, I've got Lady Kuan Yin in me energy. Oh,
mm,
Jesus in me energy. And as though I was just taken aback, like starstruck. But it's only and even now, so how many years are we talking? For me, we're coming up, 2008, 2010, so we're coming up good 15 years. It's only even really started to get confirmed in this last few years. But like
mm.
Tatiana said, we joined together just before Christmas, and in the coming together, we downloaded a workshop called the Divine Rose Temple of Light,
Mm,
which we did just before Christmas. Had a
yeah.
beautiful group of ladies working with that, and it was a very expansive workshop that the energy that came in. So the fact that we've created that is creates an expansion within ourselves. So from
Exactly.
that's where we have now got a sort of a shifting, a changing of the guards, so to
Hmm.
speak, with our guides.
Exactly. I could
So
feel this.
that's it.
The masterclass, the workshop hit, and it was mind blowing.
Yes,
It was
it
mind
was
blowing.
just instant. So obviously the guides that come in are who we need at the time. They step forward. So if I need, and I'm working with someone and need the gentle energy, obviously the mother energy is going to come forward. But
Mhm.
Darth Vader is also within the field of energy. And you might think, well, Darth Vader's a baddie in the Star Wars films. But
Hmm.
everybody's been good, bad, ugly, not,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's more about the power of his energy because the baddie of the film is the story that was told, but the energy that I connect with is all 100% pure light and love. So
Exactly.
it's like us, each of us, we're in a physical body, but our expansive selves on that other side are energies of love and light. And that is the only energy that me and Tatiana work with.
Mm,
And we set that in place through the I just what you call them rituals or our daily routines that we
yeah.
set to keep our energy fields cleared, to
Mm,
keep our light expansive, to keep us
yeah.
connected to source, and anchored into Gaia, so that everything that comes through with clarity and love. So these energies might show themselves like that, but to me also, when you step back from the fear, oh goodness me, black needs might mean fear. In reality, black is powerful and
Mm,
strong. So Darth Vader's here showing me that he's very strong and powerful, and that's the energy that is within me. But
yeah.
I don't see myself as
Mm,
strong and powerful. I'd kind of probably see myself more gentle, but I need this power and this
yeah.
strength to make me make the steps to move forward in my life, to do podcasts like this. Who'd have ever thought
Yes,
I'd have done podcasts or,
exactly.
spoke in front of people? So
And
this is the thing with guides. Sorry,
yes,
Tatiana.
no, and remember when we talked about it, because my energy is like, bam, it's straight in and you get it all. It will transform you, the manifesto in me and your energy when we do this together, like the podcast and working together, workshops with other people and holding these containers, it's just like so powerful because you just soften my energy. It's not less powerful, but
No.
it's you re will receive it in a completely different way because when we go in these containers, the audience is different from, I don't know, when you do things on your own or I do things on my own. I think it's just a completely up-leveled entertainer container.
Yes.
And it's so powerful. I love that. And I have another question. Do you want to get into my team and find out who's in my team? Like, give a
That sounds,
conversation. I would love that. Obviously, I get to know them again, so I know them a bit, but not like fully. Would you love to do that?
I would, yes. So am I feeling into that, Tatiana, for you?
Yes, please. Feel
So,
free.
so funny you should say that. And this is wonderful because this is how we grow and expand. And
Yeah.
this is where I'm learning to work with you and you're
Mm,
learning to work with me. So suddenly I'm put on the spot, so to speak. We're gonna feel into Tatiana's energy now. And I'm very good at feeling into energy
yeah.
because I would say that that's one of my psychic gifts. I feel. And then it's
Hmm.
almost like I turn that into words or pictures, and that's how I work. So straight
Yeah.
away it's Freya,
Hmm.
which is Freya is who you said was coming in for me. So
Yeah.
that's the matching energy, isn't it?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
goddess Freya, I think she comes from is-
Nordic.
yes, that's it. I was going to say like Viking, but it's Nordic, isn't it, that
Yeah.
Freya
Well, it's
is
just, I
from?
think yeah, Vikings are Nordic. Yeah.
And so, as we're saying this to each other and talking to anybody that's listening to us, we don't know all and everything about
Mm,
the energies that come in. We know that the energy is 100% light because we sense that. So, nothing will come into the field that is not of 100% light because we've
exactly.
set that space up. So, but what I'm trying to say is sometimes I'll get the name of an energy that I think is coming in to work with me, and I'll think, oh, I don't even know. Like the energy that's coming for me was Lord,
Oh, yes, you said it.
not the
Um,
Vishnu,
Vishnu, yeah.
Lord
Right.
Vishnu, who is like a blue, it's depicted as a blue god, and I didn't really know anything about Lord Vishnu, so I've had to kind of Google it and find information.
Mhm.
So you might have an energy that comes in and you
Yeah.
don't even know the name. And I always Google everything that comes in for
Yeah.
myself. So I'm just sort of sharing that with you that if you get a name and you think, well, that can't be mine because I don't know who it is.
Not true.
No,
It's
no.
true.
So Freya, going back to Freya
Mhm.
for us both,
Yeah.
a divine feminine, but to me, Freya is also quite a powerful. She's
Mm,
Nordic. She's quite a powerful goddess. So it's like
yeah.
she's a no nonsense. And as I say
Yep.
that, I can see her with
Exactly.
a sword, and I feel that as I'm talking, she's doing cord cutting. So she's doing some cord cutting not only on me and Tatiana, she's doing some cord cutting on any of you that are watching. So with the cord cutting, it means she's cutting any ties of
Mm,
attachment that you've created between you and another or between you and a
yeah.
space that is negative. So that's being done as we speak. So this is when we say, if you follow us, you will receive so
Yeah.
much more than just conversation and beautiful
Exactly.
smiley faces. You will receive activations and healings. So
Mm,
let's just come back to Tatiana now and let's feel. So in this space, Lord Vishnu has come in as well. So Lord Vishnu is working with us both this day. So he is also, because we've come together as two, it's as though our teams have joined and our teams will work together as we work more closely. So Lord Vishnu is in with the two of us as well. It's as though our energy has stepped up. It's almost like I feel as our energy steps up, it's like our vibrations rising, then we can enter into higher energetic spaces,
mhm,
higher dimensions,
mhm.
and the energies that want to connect with us can come down and meet with us. So at one point we could get to here, but then in the fact that the two of us have started work together, and we've made that jump and pushed ourselves, we've gone up a step, so
Mhm.
to speak. And then the energy that was here might not have been able to reach us, but now can because we've stepped up and they're coming down to meet. So this is another reason why you might feel that you're getting a change of guides because
Mhm.
you're
Exactly.
actually getting new energies that want to work with you to bring you on your next part of your journey where you'll need support in a different
Mm,
way. Their energy will come
yeah.
down. So there's an aligning of energies taking place as we're actually on board now in this session, and there's a healing taking place. And I feel that healing is within the throat chakra and the higher heart and the heart chakra. So again, that's not just for me and Tatiana,
Yeah.
that will be happening to everybody that
Mm.
watches this podcast. So sorry, we're just going to take
I
a
can
deep,
feel this, and my voice keeps shifting
yeah,
for like 3, 4 days now.
because they're
It's
working on the
crazy.
throat chakras, because we're doing more speech,
Hmm.
like the podcast and the sharing of information. So we're channeling, because as we're on here, we're actually channeling. We've got a few notes of a few names, and that's it. Everything else is just coming as we speak with one another. So
Yeah,
I'm
and this
going to
we're
ask.
feeding this into the collective. They keep showing me. Sorry for
So when
interrupting.
you know you're all right, Tatiana, can you just explain what you mean by feeding it into the collective?
So because we're speaking up as female, not just leaders, but the female collective in general, because we had enough of what happened, and that's what they showed me, like standing up for us, and that's why obviously the chakra is changing, more
So
powerful.
So I feel that then anybody watching, your chakras will be being
Hmm.
healed so that you yourselves can
Yeah.
speak up more. And you will either lose the
Yes.
inhibitions, which
Mhm.
stop you stepping forward, or you will be so feeling like you're being so pushed that you have no option but overcoming the fear that stops you. So
Exactly.
anything where you've not been speaking your truth, you'll find you might start actually speaking up a little bit more.
Mhm.
So we've gone a bit off key there, which is lovely, because this is what happens when we interact.
Exactly.
Even though the subject was guides, we've kind of gone off a little path, but we'll come back again.
We will, we will. If they want it, we do. We will.
Yeah. So let's just step into Tatiana's energy, and I'm just asking if there are any guides that want to step forward, that want to let me know that are working with Tatiana at this moment in time, or at any point in the near future, who want to be seen. So I feel that these Great Bear, and wow, Great Bear used to come in for me. So Great Bear is a what do they call it when you've got the stars in, like a star system in the sky?
Oh
Um,
yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't know what
so,
you call
so
it.
this is the Great Bear, and I think I'm right in saying, but if anybody says I'm not, I'm not too worried. I don't know whether that's in the Sirius star system.
And I can tell you the story about it
Go
because
on.
I'm looking to this star sign every single night, and I know it's in Sirius because I know my one of my soul parts is from there.
Right. And I'm linked with Sirius. And I kind of got told that again, probably about 10 years ago. But it's funny because the Great Bear, one of the signs I got, and this is another way that you might get signs of your guides. I was actually driving down the road, and this big lorry pulls up at the side of me, and there was the star system of the Great Bear, and it
Here
had
we go.
Great Bear written on the side of the truck. And this is
Here we
another
go.
way that we receive confirmation of messages, when divine guidance or divine energy wants to come in and speak to you. Well,
Mm.
it does. So if you start to notice things that stand out to you, make a note of them, because this is how
Yeah.
those want to get through.
Exactly. And I that was a sign for me because obviously I knew this, but for me, I did it even before I knew. And this is just the confirmation. Thank you so much. I love this.
And and Great Bear started when in about 2010. I worked at a
Ah,
an holistic centre some years ago, and that's when that started coming in. He stands beside, he's stood here now, so I see him as a bear, but he's enormous. His energy is
mm,
enormous. So again, Tatiana, like you were saying about our connection, our energies align, then it
mm,
makes sense that we're connected to the Sirius energies. And the Sirius energy, there are Sirius beings. And
yeah,
I get that the blue beings, which then brings me to Lord Vishnu, because Lord Vishnu is blue. So I feel
yeah.
that there's a very big connection with the blue beings of light, if you want to
Mm,
call them. So that's another guide, so to speak.
yes. Yes, because when I know I went that's years and years back, probably 5 years. It's not that long, but I remember that I had a soul reading and I felt this, and this woman, this medium said to me that yeah, you look like the your soul looks like the one from Avatar. That's you, and you're queen on a different planet. And I was like, what? So, what? Here we go. So it makes sense when you say something blue, because I always, when I dream, when I go on travel, meditate, I always see myself like these. It's a bit different to the avatar, but I would describe it like this kind of tall, blue, thin
Mm.
beings. So yeah, I love that. I
Well,
love that.
that's another. So already we've already kind of come across three or four guides.
Yes.
So, and I'm also picking up because I'm working with dragon energy at the moment, and the dragons come in quite often. It's funny because I can go for periods, I can go months and months without any what I would
Mm,
call a feeling of interaction with dragons. It doesn't mean to say the energy is not there, it's
yeah.
just they don't come to the forefront. It's almost like you've got, if you were stood in a room with 20 or 30 friends, and some of the friends would come to the front chatting to you, and then they'd
Yeah.
move away, and the next lot of
Yes.
friends, yeah?
Yes.
So this is how your team works, and they'll
Yeah.
bring to you what you need. So the dragons are with me very much. So I feel like the dragons are coming in for you, Tatiana, as well,
Oh,
because
really?
the dragons are here to give us strength, but the dragons are coming forward. It's like we're not creators of the dragons. Well, I suppose we are to a degree. We're creators of our world, aren't we? But we're I don't know if I'm using the right word, opportunists, or we're the energy that is bringing them
Right.
forward, awakening them, because
Yes.
we're going so deep within ourselves to do the work. It's like for me, when we work on ourselves and we're going deep to do the work, we
Mm,
actually, I feel, go into the earth.
yeah.
We're going deep within us, but we're so connected to the earth and grounded that we're also going into the earth. What we're healing within us, we're healing
Mm,
within the earth. And as we
exactly.
go in, we're activating um, the activations within the earth herself that are awakening the dragons that have been kind of in slumber, so to speak, for so long within the earth. And there are many light workers like ourselves that are
Mm,
linked to doing this. So I feel that somewhere deep down within you, Tatiana, at this moment in time, there is an awakening of your dragon self.
right.
So, and of course, the dragon self is an aspect. We've got many aspects, many sides to us. And I always think if I was to talk to, say, somebody that wasn't on this spiritual path and say, well, I interact with dragons, they'd look at me and go, yes, and what planet have you come from? In reality, what I try to explain is everything's energy. So if I say to you, what is your idea of a dragon? What energy comes to mind when you say about a dragon?
It's green. It's like n not scary, but it's like the film ones. Like, yeah, I'm here. Here we go.
Yes, yes, big
Mm,
wings.
yeah.
You're not messing with me.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
coming
show
to,
you.
yes, I'm coming to change things up.
Yeah.
And along with that, because to me, the dragons that I'm connecting with at the moment are very earthy, and this is very, because it's like your earth dragon. So
Mm,
it's
okay.
it's like a very grounded energy, and it's keeping us firmly
Mm,
grounded because as we're moving up on our journeys, and this is another thing, as we're moving up on our journeys, it's almost like being like a tower block. As we reach higher dimensions and higher levels, we need to be equally as grounded, and our foundations need to be
mm,
super strong and solid for
yeah.
us to access these higher energies. And this is why it's so important to do the inner work on ourselves, to continue to keep grounding and keeping very centered and heart focused, because that's what strengthens our foundations. So the connection with the dragons, it's almost like you're connected to the center of the earth through the energy of the dragon that is connecting with you now. Almost like his tail is anchored into the earth and almost fulfilling or filling, should I say, part of your energy. It's almost like I can feel him in your energy field within your stomach, but going down. And when you say green, well, to me, green is earthy, but it's
Yeah.
also healing.
Mm, yeah.
So So I feel that this is kind of a new aspect of you that's coming on board and waking up. But it's as though, and I also feel I want to say, as I see this dragon, is very plump, so to speak. So I feel like his hips and his bottom and his legs are very heavy because he's kind of plonking himself
Yeah,
down on the floor as if to
yeah,
say, I'm really solid and I'm not moving and I'm really strong. And, so in other words, you're so solidly
yeah,
grounded. So I feel that that's another um, aspect that you've uncovered with
yeah.
doing this next part of the journey.
Yeah, I can feel that. Not like 100%, but I feel it coming in, and I didn't know who it was, what it was. So thank you for the clarification, because that means a lot, because even like I couldn't feel the energy, but it's already there. And Lisa, you could feel that. I
Yes.
love this. And that's for everyone, because for me, I feel and I see things. So when you said like this and the dragon, I see him, like literally I see him sitting there like, here we go. Like
Yeah.
with his big legs and heavy and like just like a huge stone, like I'm here now.
And you've got to remember, Tatiana, what he's saying to me. Sorry, so this is like a message for you that's coming through now. He's saying you've got to remember, it's not me telling you you've got to remember, it's him. He's saying you've got to remember our wings. So he's got these big
Mhm.
wings, and we can open our wings to become expansive, but
Yeah.
to fly high, to the up into the skies, almost like to dream and bring about new ideas and thoughts, and to feel free. And
Yeah.
I feel that when we do that and we fly as our dragons, or you may want to fly
Mhm.
as an angel, you'll feel your energy shift. You'll feel like you're lifted. So if you're
Yeah.
feeling a bit off at times, you can always just
Mhm.
visualize that connection with your dragon self or
Yes.
an angel. Because for some of you, you might think, oh, dragons, I'm a bit not sure about
Yeah.
that. Well, some of us are angels. We can have big, beautiful angels' wings.
Yeah.
Some of us can have fairy wings. But if you visualize yourself flying, it's
Hmm.
lighter, isn't it? You automatically become a lighter version of yourself, if that makes sense.
Yes. And that makes so much sense, because I was working with a client a few weeks ago, and I saw this beautiful, like Tinkerbell kind of spirit with her, and powerful, but so sweet. And I also saw that my client's chakras and wings. And she was like, and I told her, so that's what I see. And this Tinkerbell is in your team, and brings you like the freedom, but also like be a bit cheeky and do your thing. And when you, again, it's a confirmation of all of this, because it's not just what we see, what we feel. It's not like it's not in our head. It's actually a real thing, but not in this kind of, not in the 3D.
It's what we see with our mind's
Mhm.
eye, our third eye. It's like
I
they
love
say,
that.
the veil is thinning, isn't it? So
Yes.
this energy is always there. We just don't perceive it until we start doing work on ourselves. And that's where my work, once I started coming on board with doing Reiki
Yeah.
and angelic Reiki, and then it became intuitive healings.
Mm.
The more I feel into things, and the more I know, and not only that, it's confidence.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as you start to get messages, or you might yourself get a guide's name, you might get Saint Peter, you might get
I never get names. I never.
yeah,
Oh,
a and you might think, oh no, no. So pushing it away means you're
yeah.
not embracing it. So the more you embrace it and trust what's coming to you, the more your
Yes.
ability grows and the
Yes.
more starts to come. But you've got to
Yes.
embrace it. But obviously, I
Mm.
fully understand that at first it's all a bit, it's a bit out there and you're not so sure, and it's not so
Definitely.
easy to, it's not like you've got a book that tells you, because we all work completely different
Mm.
in different ways. So you've not got a book there that you can follow.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you follow somebody like us, you can ask us questions,
Yeah.
feel, we will help you as much as we can, or you can book sessions with us if you feel drawn to our energy. And this is why we're doing this. We're putting out, we've been told by our guides we need to put ourselves out there
Yeah.
because our energy is needed, much like anybody
Yeah.
watching. Your energy is going to be needed, and that's why you're watching this, because it's to help you grow.
Exactly. And that's why we're doing this because it's just like us two talking about spiritual stuff and our experience. And it's going to be a huge thing. I can feel this because I think that's what people need right in this moment. And unfortunately, I never grew up with someone who could show me all these lovely things, like how to interact with your spirit guides, how to do Reiki. Yeah, it took me a while, and I went through this. Like, I always felt that there was a team like supporting me. I never felt on my own, like I'm doing things just. I never felt lonely, but if you don't have someone who's like, oh, that's absolutely normal, you can do this or you can do that to help you and guide you and support you there, I think that's what the world needs. That's what I'm feeling and getting.
And it's funny how you say that about never feeling on your own. That's one thing
Mhm.
from being young. I never felt that was on my own. And then as I started on this road, I remember sometimes I used to sit if I was reading or working, and it's almost like I used to feel as though somebody was stood behind me, but in a
Exactly.
lovely way,
Yeah.
not in a way of, oh, what's that? It was
Somebody's watching you.
yeah, but as though somebody's like your grandma's put their arm round you, or just in such a comforting way. And I remember sitting sometimes and
Yeah.
feeling this. And from time to time that still happens. So it might even be that you pick up on energy like that, that you feel somebody
Mm,
holding you or supporting you.
yeah.
And that's just part of, that might be your team of guides, it might be your grandma
Yes.
that's passed.
Yeah.
But they're coming just to support you and let you
Yeah.
know you're not on
And
your own.
they show me my grandma just like, tell them the story, tell them the story. When my grandma passed, like, oh God, it's 11 years now. It just seemed like it was back, I don't know, yesterday. So when my grandma died, I was lived in South Korea back then with my ex-husband, and my grandma died, unfortunately. I said goodbye to her before I went like 2 weeks earlier, but I had this dream like my granny died when during the night. She was in hospital, and my mom told me like a week later. So I was literally like had this dream, and it was so real. My grandma said goodbye and said, I'm going to be in your team, don't you worry. And since that day, she's there supporting. And my sisters, they had the same dream. I have three sisters, they had the same dream. So since that day, she's in our team, and I can always feel her. And when I go into channelings or have like medium sessions for myself, obviously we need support sometimes, we're not perfect as mediums or psychics, and they always say, oh, there's an elderly woman, and they always describe my grandma. She's always first, and I love that.
And that's beautiful, isn't it? Because, and like you say, so somebody that's passed can be in your team.
Hmm.
It's not necessarily angels or saints or
Yes.
ascended masters.
Yeah.
It can be somebody that's passed, and sometimes people pass. Sometimes people pass when they're young, and
Mm,
obviously the family are heartbroken. But sometimes
yeah.
they pass because they can help more on that other side,
Yeah.
in spirit form,
Yeah.
than when they're here, if that makes
Mm,
sense.
yeah.
But yeah, they're there then to support you. So yeah, your team might have somebody that's. But I do have my gran, like you say, your gran, because I grew up. My gran, she lived with us till I was about 10 from being two.
Mm,
So my gran, and I feel like my energy is very much like hers. So it's almost like
yeah.
you can understand that's why they're like your team, because your energy, your
Yes.
energy matches. And it's funny because your energy matches. So I've been able to work with Tatiana because something in her energy feels so right for me.
Mm,
And this is another thing with energy, and perhaps we could touch on this at another point. But
yeah.
knowing, why does some people, even though they can be the most beautiful people,
Yeah.
and on a spiritual path, but sometimes your energy just doesn't line up because they're on a totally different. They're here to do something else
Yeah.
on their spiritual
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
So that was just something
Yeah.
just
I,
touching on.
I feel this, and it's an exciting journey getting to know a team, and also when I stepped into a new era in last year in October, I was thinking about quitting my business. I have not, but I had the time where I was like, guys, I'm ready to expand. I'm ready to go to the next level. And a few of my team, obviously they went with me, but that's the reason why I was like mixing up my team. New people, I invited new team members in, to be honest, and that's it's possible to ask the universe, your higher self, your team, hey, I need more support, I need more team members. That is so possible. And I just love this, thinking about like you have your own team like who's supporting you. And we're not in this era any longer where we think, oh, we have to do everything on our own. And I think by reaching out to spirit or um yeah, I think the process of reaching out, even if you can't see them right in this moment, it helps you to reach out in the real world, like reaching out to you, working with together. And it just came, um, it just fell into place perfectly, I think. I just love what we do, and I'm so excited for the next steps up, or whatever you want to call it.
Expansion.
Expansion, yeah. It's always going to be better, more expansive, more light, and I'm so proud that finally the collective is waking up and we this is more becomes more and more normal. I love that. And
Yes.
that has to do with the team as well, recognizing, working with them.
And your
That's what they show
connection,
me.
like
Yes,
you said,
exactly. Yes,
connection
yes,
with
yes,
each
yes.
other, coming to, starting to talk and communicate with others about what you're feeling, about what you're seeing, so that we're breaking down this wall or this barrier about all things spiritual,
Yeah.
because every single one of us can do this
Yes.
in one form or another, the
Mhm.
more we interact. So, maybe you might want to start talking to a friend
Yeah,
about what their experiences are on a spiritual level. And it just
exactly.
to open the door
Yes.
in
That's
allowing
how it
you.
started for me. You're just reading my energy. That's how it started for me because I was back in uni. I was friends with someone very spiritual, and I always loved it, but I never thought that it's me because for me, like it was normal to see spirits and to interact with them, but I never thought about it. Am I a spiritual person? Because it was so normal. But I there was one thing that happened to me, and I mentioned that to my friend, and she said, "You know that you're a medium, right?" I'm like, am I? So that's started my journey.
So it,
Talking, being open.
so if you hadn't have had the conversation, because sometimes we're like, oh, I won't mention it, I won't say
Exactly.
it. And don't get me wrong, you might find someone goes, I don't know what you're talking about, or and
Mhm.
then you just back away from that
Yeah.
conversation. But if you feel drawn, the more we talk about these things, the more switched on we become, and the more the other thing is, we break the separation that's going on between us and
Yes.
others. So yeah, hopefully anybody watching this will get something from it, and
Yes.
anything you're not sure of, you can,
Yeah. Well,
message.
exactly. Message us here under the video or just go on our everything is linked here in the captions and then just click on it and chat with us. We're open because obviously we that's our life. We love to do it. It's not just a job, it's a calling, is
Is
yeah,
a calling
yeah,
for
it's a
definite.
calling.
And also, if there's anything, so obviously we've just touched on about guides, and on touching about guides, a few other things came in. And if there's something you would like to ask a question that you're not sure about, because we're very fortunate. I've always been very fortunate because I've always been involved with a lot of people on this path, so I've always had
Yeah.
people to talk with. But I do know people that have come to me who follow me over time can't just talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Sometimes they feel a little bit isolated on this journey. So, if you want to ask a question that you perhaps haven't got anybody else to
Yeah.
ask, or there's something you're concerned about, or you just
Mhm.
want to know a little bit more about, if you drop
Exactly.
us a message, we might be able to do a podcast on it, or
Yeah.
just answer the question. We'd be happy to do that. And obviously, as you get to know us, you might even feel drawn to, because you'll get drawn to it. You'll either want to watch more of us or not, and that's fine because we're
Hmm.
all You know, we're all different.
Yeah.
But you might even want to look at maybe booking a session,
Mm,
if you want activating in some way or some guidance. You know, that's what we're here for.
exactly. Talking about all things spiritual, our experience, and I can't wait for the next episodes. Yes, and I think that's it from us. The first
Yes.
episode is out.
Yeah. With our clipboard.
Exactly. Oh, I wish I had one like clack.
That'll be the next thing we'll
Oh,
get. But thank you for
thank
anybody that, you know, decides to listen and watch. Because, you know, even we know that we're doing the right thing by doing this
you.
because this is what our team of guides have pushed us to do. So we're
Exactly.
not going anywhere. We'll be seeing us much more. So
Yeah.
take care and
Take
send
care.
in lots of love and diamond lights um, and Blu-ray energy out to
Exactly.
you all.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Lisa. Mwah.
Thank you, Tatiana.
Yeah.